Who, who?
Trying to. Okay. Okay. We ready?
We don't have a theme song.
We do not.
Yes, we do. We're gonna record the regular audio will get the theme song. If you're watching live, you don't necessarily need a theme song.
It's like y'all see us, and that's enough.
Not the right song. All right. You ready? You ready? You ready? Not ready.
Not ready.
I'm gonna get a beer.
Okay.
Might go with fish.
Didn't know we had beer in the fridge.
Pay attention. I tell you, I went to the store and picked up a lot of shit. I picked up a lot of shit.
That's a lot of stuff.
This episode is brought to you by New Yingling Golden Pilsner.
Yes?
Refreshing and smooth. What up, Dom?
All right. We ready?
Yes.
Is Lucky trying to get back in the house, or is he?
Fuck, look at that,
No, he's good. If he good, leave him there. Lucky watch. If he wants to. If he doesn't want, then let him stay out there. Okay. All right.
Man, what are we talking about?
I love you.
Great Take Talk Gang?
Oh, what? We are.
We lame as hell.
I went on purpose. What?
He's like, both wearing great tank tops.
All right.
Come on.
You got the thing.
Oh. I gotta play the music.
Come on. Cue me.
One day we gonna get more sophisticated.
Slow fade. Slow fade.
Y'all hear that shit?
Oh, ow. What?
Y'all hear that shit? What's up? What's going on? Alright, welcome to another episode of Where Are the Webbs, aka Keeping Up with the Webbs, aka the Webbs Worldwide, the Worldwide Webbs, aka the King Queen of what the fuck is it? A 3-day weekend. Aka your favorite auntie and uncle.
It was 4 for me. Yay. It was kind
Technically
of like 4
you
for
worked
I
you
did.
really only got like 2 days off.
I did, technically.
You worked Friday, Saturday, and Sunday.
I would. Yes.
Well, at least Friday and Saturday.
This kind of, yeah. This kind of.
Anyway, man, welcome back to another episode for everybody who listening. All 9 of you. Thank you very much.
Thank you, everyone. Attitude of gratitude.
I'm thankful for the 9.
You didn't put numbers out here. You always said don't do that.
I don't know for sure.
Anyway, gratitude with an attitude, aggressive gratitude. You're going to get our thank yous. Thank you to everyone who likes, shared, listens, subscribe, follows all of our adventures, follows us together and separately on all the social media things. So, if you don't know where you can find our shenanigans, you can find us on Facebook, We're the Webbs. Spell it out, like I said, it's Where the Webbs on Facebook. You can find us on Instagram, put it all together, Where the Webbs. Where the Webbs on Instagram. Additionally, you can find us on our food page, Shells and Drums. Shells and Drums on the Instagram.
Shells Drums. She likes tacos, the Shells.
Yes.
I like wings, the Drums.
Hey.
Shells and Drums. That is us.
Yes. So, you can find us at Shells and Drums, and you can find us starting now. You can find us on the YouTube again, Where the Webbs on YouTube.
All episodes will now be posted. All full episodes of the podcast are now posted on YouTube. For those of you who do not like to listen to audio only, who needs a little visual representation.
Visuals. Yeah.
For some of y'all the same people who like pictures instead of reading books. What up? Anyway.
And you can find me. I am at Psyching Out Loud, PSYCHING Out Loud on the Instagram. I am also at Mindful Living Counseling LLC on the Instagram and the Facebook. And finally, you can find me at Phenomenal Yoga, PHENOMENAL Yoga on the Instagram. My Snapchat is Love Therapy, LUVTHERAPY. And you are?
Marcus Webb. On everything I love.
On everything you love.
I am Marcus Webb.
All day.
That's
too much Marcus Webb sometimes. He's always Marcus Webb.
Marcus Webb, aka Big Mario. Marcus Webb on Facebook.
Yes.
Marcus Webb 1984 on Instagram.
Mm-hmm.
Marcus Webb 84 on Snapchat.
Yes.
Also find me, posting pictures of wings and
yes,
tacos on Shells and Drums. What's
all right.
Up? Hey, I'm a red.
All right. So
what up though?
Also a shout out to the official photographer Where the Webbs, Marcy Renee Photography.
Marcy Renee Photography. Listen. There's no reason why Marcy should not be booked and traveling every single weekend.
Have you looked at the website?
I have not. I'm sorry. I got a direct connection. Listen, you don't go look at the website when you got a direct connect with the plug. She is my photo plug.
I do like, it's stylized. It's very nice. It shows the range of her work. So check it out.
Yeah, for real. Check out her website, MarcyReneePhotography.com. Book her for all your photo needs.
She is the reason for our new logo.
The logo, the look. You see the photos.
Yeah.
I mean, I know I'm starting to get the feeling that a lot of people like more just like the kind of off the cuff real photos. I get it. But we take the time to pose for these photos, and we block out time for these photos. The quality of the photos from Marcy Renee, you cannot beat that. So book Marcy Renee Photography. That's MarcyRenee Photography.com.
Yes.
Holla at Marcy Renee Photography. All right. So since we are here at the shout out portion, just two quick shout outs. Shout out to my financial advisor, Jimmy Howard. Make sure you check him out. You've seen the Power Couple shirts this week.
Yes.
They are brought to you by my financial advisor, Jimmy Howard. Check him out at myfinancialadvisorjimmyhoward.com. Mm-hmm. Also, shout out to Lip Bully, who is the provider of the lip color that you saw on some of the photos.
Yes. My beautiful purple.
Even bolder.
My bolder red, orange.
Bolder looking colors coming soon.
Yes.
Look up Lip Bully on your social media. She shout out to the homie. She's doing. I love to see people doing new and different things. Shout out Lip Bully.
Yes.
I know I said I was going to do 2 shout outs. Also shout out to my LB A1 Barbering. If you are in the Atlanta area and you need a barber, holla at my boy Dimes.
All right. Sorry, we got to keep things rolling.
We got time.
We got to roll. All right.
All right.
Any leftovers, anything from last week? Any emails? If you don't know where to email us, it's wherethewebs1@gmail.com. That's wherethewebs1@gmail.com.
Sorry for the audio issues.
Yes.
We apologize for that. We don't realize that there are issues until we're done.
We finish
and
recording.
then, the rest of it was so good, we couldn't get rid of it just for the little chopped and screwed portion in the beginning. So, you know what I'm saying? You had to sit through a little slow down, but the rest of it was pretty good. What up? I told you, like, speak of the devil, bro. You say his name and he will appear. I just told y'all, check out A1 Barbering. If you are in the Atlanta area, check out my boy. Go get you a cut.
Oh, and the Cape Man.
Oh, man. Boy.
A brother-in-law.
If you are in the Atlanta area.
Yes.
The southern metropolitan Atlanta area, the Spalding, Henry County.
And you need some
anywhere in
cakes
there. Clayton County. Holla at my brother-in-law, the Muffin Man Q. My boy is 5 with them cakes.
Yes.
I'm talking about, like, listen.
Elaborate.
Top quality cakes. The Muffin Man Q. That Hennessy cake, I don't even really like Hennessy like that, but I need my boy to make me one of them cakes with the little shots in it. Shout out to the Muffin Man Q.
All right.
Holla at my boy. All my friends who got something going on, all my businesses, hey man, let us know. Shout out to all y'all, man. If you got something going on, you want us to shout you out, hey, it's all love. Just let us know. Dom, y'all know we rock with Toast Augusta super long way. April should get back to making jewelry. Hey, let's get back to making some jewelry, right. April. Who else got something going on, man? I don't know. Shout out to D Dizzle for all your HR needs. Whatever you want to do. Hey, I'm about to put D Dizzle, I'm about to have you freelancing in this bitch. What's up? Let's go. I don't know. Listen, it's Labor Day. My wife's sitting here trying to make this shit NPR. She done let me sit here and drink all day. Right? I've been drinking all day. She been like, I was about to say she poured me drinks. I poured my own drinks. But she let me pour the drinks all day and then say, hey, let's go record the podcast.
You knew what had to be done today. I don't have to tell you.
Okay, well then let me get this out. It's for the people.
I'm sitting here. I'm waiting.
Then you're gonna be like pointing at the time and shit.
I mean, we got things to talk about.
We got a lot. I mean, we got time.
We got things to talk about. And we're not trying to have a 2-hour episode.
Sure. Who mad at a 2-hour episode if it's all quality? Who complains about 2 hours of quality programming if it's good? Now, if it ain't shit, okay, 2 hours is too long. But if it's all good, what's 2 hours?
2 hours is a lot. 2 hours is a lot.
I've already.
All right. So topics.
Where we been this week?
Topics. We always start off with where have the Webs been? This weekend. This current. I'm here. I'm ready.
Shit, somebody didn't drink enough. This past weekend.
Wait a minute.
Mrs. Webb was in Birmingham, Alabama.
I went to Birmingham Friday.
Don't shit on Birmingham. Birmingham is actually pretty cool. I was supposed to be there. Couldn't find a dog sitter, so I took one for the team and stayed here and watched the dog. We got a special needs puppy. He requires
about our dog.
He has special needs, so somebody has to stay here with him. I took one for the team, so I couldn't go to Alabama. Mrs. Webb was there at a women's conference. Great speaking opportunity. Book her for all your speaking engagements. She she's a licensed marriage and family therapist here in the state of Georgia. Mm-hmm. Also certified yoga instructor. So if you need her for that, what? Tiny Boss. Big Mario. No, it's y'all.
When we get to the motivation, we'll tell y'all about what Big Mario is.
Maybe. I might keep it an inside thing. Y'all don't know about Big Mario.
Okay.
But anyway, you were in Birmingham.
Yes, I went to Birmingham Friday. It was a 3-day conference. It was the Phenomenal Women Summit. So up until now, it's been held every year for the last 7 years, and now they're going to do it every 2 years. So the next
every 7 years.
Every year for 7 years.
Oh, I thought you said it's held every 7 years. I was like, who the fuck remembers? Okay, never mind.
Every year for 7 years.
Every year for 7 years, and now they're going to do it when?
It's going to be every other year.
Okay.
So the next one won't be until 2021.
Okay.
So I'm hoping.
You about to be booked again in 2021?
I'll be back in here.
About to secure that spot?
Hopefully. So I went Friday.
You already know.
I was rehearsing Friday night. That was the opening banquet and all that, but I got there a little later. Traffic was insane because it's Labor Day weekend. But I got there safely. I got home safely, and that's the important thing. So Saturday morning, I got up. I spoke to a room of about 100 or so women. These women, so it's the 6th region, like the district. I'm trying to think of the structure of the church, and I don't want to get it all wrong. There's districts and regions.
You don't need.
But anyway, it's a number of pastors, bishops, first ladies, and various other women who wanted to attend. And I did it. I did the thing. I came in, I spoke, talked about mindfulness, meditation, all that good stuff. We did some practice with it. And then later that evening, I taught me yoga. So, I'm available for all of those purposes.
Yes.
You can book me to speak. You can book me for yoga.
Yes.
I got you.
Yes. Shout out to the church crowd. Amen.
There were some big hats.
Amen. Shout out to the church crowd. We appreciate you. We are very church friendly. We do know how to clean it up when needed to. This ministry will travel. I was told good luck with my ministry, and I was like, I never thought of it that way. But hey, I guess I do, in a way, minister to people every day. The doors of the church are open. Amen.
So, good eats in Birmingham. Birmingham has tons of good food. It's got so many parts to it, so you have to break it up into where to go. But I want to give you some highlights. So I ate at a place called Shusho. It's SHU, not SHOE. Shusho ramen, fantastic ramen. Get the crab claws. They're little fried pieces of crab and little remoulade sauce. Fantastic. Highly recommend. Then there's a place called Cookie Dough Magic, and it is what it sounds like. It's one of those places that serves different kinds of batter and dough. It doesn't have the raw egg in it, so you don't have to worry about getting sick from it. And it has like birthday cake and sugar cookie and regular chocolate chip and all that stuff. And they just give you a couple of scoops. It's the fattest thing ever. It's probably not great for you, but I did go, and I don't regret it at all. Not even a little bit. And also shout out to Eugene's Hot Chicken. I will tell you, I got like the levels of heat for this hot chicken. It was like hot, damn hot. It was like mild hot, hot damn, and then there's another one. And I got the next to the highest one, and it wasn't that hot. So I'm a little disappointed in that. But it was really flavorful. The skin is super crisp. So you get some of that oil they put on the hot chicken, but it's not, man's not hot.
I don't do that hot shit.
It was
Listen,
not
it ain't even really gotta be super
spicy.
hot. I think it's cayenne pepper. Anything with cayenne pepper in it, I'm out. I'm straight.
Did you? I got Mr. Webb some lemon pepper from there, and some of their mild because I didn't know how hot it was going to be.
It was decent fried chicken. The lemon pepper you gave me actually tasted more like pickles. I don't know
really?
I don't know why, but it has pickles. They put pickles on it because the hot chicken come with pickles.
I didn't think they would do that.
I just tasted more. Yeah, it has pickles on it.
I didn't think they would do that for the.
It did.
Lemon pepper. Okay.
I just tasted like pickle flavored fried chicken, which really ain't a bad thing. It just tastes almost like pickles. I ain't really get a whole lot of lemon pepper. Okay. Probably would have been better as when it was fresh. The mild flavor was cool. Not super hot, but just, light seasoned spice. So shout out to Eugene's. Everybody trying to do some hot chicken now. So
yeah.
Do your thing.
Also, final shout
Eugene.
out to prettywicked.com. Pretty Wicked, I bought a bunch of her little small scented candles. This is a one-woman show. And I'm all about supporting women, supporting black women, small business, all that good stuff. She is a masseuse.
Jay.
She used to teach.
What up, Jay? I'm sorry.
She's a masseuse. She used to teach dance, and then she got in a car accident. That's how she became a masseuse, a massage therapist. Was after the accident, she couldn't really dance like that anymore. So a lot of joints and things were affected. So now she does massage therapy, and she has her own line of like room scents and the small scented candles I got. They're about yay round. I should have brought one over here. And then she has full like big scented candles. They're reasonably priced. And she makes them all herself, which is dope. Like she pours it all and does everything. One woman show. So shout out to prettywicked.com.
Yeah, we haven't lit one yet, but just smelled it in the little canister. Smells pretty good. So shout out to what's called Pretty Wicked.
Pretty Wicked.
That's what's up. What was I about to say?
I don't know. Anything about Birmingham? Maybe.
Nah.
All right.
I'll think of it later.
So moving on. Get to the stuff. The stuff.
And I'm about to kill this Instagram.
Nobody's on the gram right now. All right. So getting into this Dave Chappelle. People have been talking about it. Mr. Webb was so kind as to wait for me to come back into town so that we could watch it together. And we did. We watched it earlier today, as a matter of fact.
Dave Chappelle new comedy special. It's called Sticks and Stones.
Right. Which appropriately named. I get it.
It's a lot of topics, a lot of things to cover in this special. I don't know where you want to start, but wherever you want to go on with it. Let's talk about it.
It is loaded with material. Like it's a lot.
I love it.
There's a lot here. So Dave Chappelle has been put on the problematic list-ish. Previously. Previously.
I'm not. Okay, go.
Yeah.
Okay.
We can...
Say what you're going to say.
But he had previously been put on, like, I didn't say the cancel list. I said the problematic list. Why?
He provides me.
Why?
He protects me.
No,
So
not right now.
I'm gonna drop it low, just
not right now.
Drop it low,
Sir, please.
Okay, all right. Okay, whatever. Say what you're gonna say.
Okay, so he had been on the problematic list before now because of some material he's discussed or the jokes he's made as of late in his comedy. So this time he was like, I'm gonna keep coming out here with what I gotta say. And I mean, he really pulled no punches on how far he wanted to go or what he wanted to say. And on one hand, like I really get it and I respect that. And then on the other hand, there were sometimes even you were like, ugh.
When?
Yeah, the Chinese thing.
It's not that I'm offended. It's just like, it was like the classic Chinese stereotype. Like, it was more like, Dave, you better than that.
Yeah.
The rest of it was actually pretty. I mean, I loved it, but the little Chinese joke when he was trying to like compare and say like, what if I identify as Chinese? He did a little Chinese face. I was like, nah, you better than that one. That was my thing.
Yeah.
But other than that, man, I loved it.
So he talked about the LGBTQ community, and he talked about the community like having backlash essentially, and he compared it to Kevin Hart. having backlash for his old tweets.
Oh, that's what I was about to say. I'm sorry, it just triggered. Shout out to or prayers for Kevin Hart. Like I just remember because you were talking about the candle lady had a car accident.
Yeah,
that reminded me Kevin Hart was in a car accident. Prayers for Kevin Hart.
Yes,
that's what I was thinking of earlier. I'm sorry.
All right, so he got backlash from the community, and he was saying that this happened with Kevin Hart also. That he got backlash for some old tweets. And he prefaced this by saying, you know, you better not do anything wrong because 15, 20 years from now, somebody will bring it up.
Absolutely.
You know? And I still don't agree with him with the Louis C.K. thing. I'm not here for it.
I'm not, nobody's trying to like say what Louis C.K. did was okay. But he did bring up a good point. Like, I'm in my room, and I tell you, like, I
don't remember that being a thing. I don't remember that being part of the story.
No, one of the stories, okay, so Louis C.K., I remember it. Some people were on the phone, and they were like, yeah, he started masturbating while I was on the phone with him. And then other people were like, we were in the hotel room with him, and he just started doing it. Now, if I tell you, like, hey, I'm about to do this, and you stick around, and you don't immediately leave, I don't know. Not saying it was okay, but
that's sociopathic. That's
maybe. I may not agree with everything Dave Chappelle said, but it did remind me that like a lot of things are getting way too. It's just way too sensitive, right? Like people are not allowed to grow and become a better person. If I said something 10 years ago, I promise you, oh God forbid if I ever become famous and somebody go look up some old tweets, I'm kind of scared of what they might find and what I put on Twitter 10 years ago. You know what I'm saying? Like I think I remember putting out something that I was like, I think like 10 years ago I probably said like Jay-Z is done, Jay-Z's finished. I'm like, oh shit, I was wrong.
I mean, that's good if that's the worst thing you said.
I mean, yeah, I don't think I have any real problematic opinions that I posted on Twitter or anything. But people had this thing now where they just you can search someone's name and an offensive word and see what comes up. Like Twitter is just the archive. Yeah. So who knows what you said 10 years ago? The fact that people are still being held accountable and having their lives ruined and opportunities taken away from them based on something said 10 years ago.
I will say, like, to your point, that people aren't allowed to grow. And that's hard. Because, again, I don't want stuff that I said or thought when I was 18 or 21 or whatever.
When I was poor and broke.
Right. I don't want that stuff to come up. Now, I don't even know what I would have said. But, so that was one part. And someone used the phrase, I don't know where I got this, outrage porn. That people enjoy the outrage so much. And I think we've mentioned that before. Fuck
Sean King. Yes. Make sure, I don't know, this may have been in the last episode, you know, we had some audio issues. Mm-hmm. So you may have missed this part where we talked about some of these so-called activists, Sean King, D-Ray, whatever, D-Ray Blue Vest. They're just, I just don't feel like they're here for the cause, bro. So if anything, like these people to me are problematic. Be careful who you also co-sign and get behind. Sean King, who is, you know, I don't know what he is, translucent, beige colored,
what?
Khaki colored human being, who really just seems to, though you portray like you're here for the cause, you really just post these things of black people in terrible situations for whatever reason. And it just seems like that's outrage porn. But anyway, side note. I don't trust people who wear blue bubble vests in the summer.
I wasn't saying that was outrage porn. I was saying people enjoy That's more of the, like, they enjoy seeing people getting maimed and like, they
Right.
consume a lot of that. But outrage is when, like, the outrage porn idea is just that people find all the stuff to get upset about. No matter how big, no matter how small, no matter if it affects them directly or not, like, just in this continuous loop of from this thing to this thing to this thing. The people that do that. So I agree. There are a lot of people who just get outraged for the sake of outrage. And he had some good points. He did.
Definitely.
So I appreciate him saying R. Kelly actually did that. I do appreciate him throwing that in there.
That was like, duh, shit. We all
Right.
at this point, who's defending R. Kelly?
There's somebody.
I
But
don't know.
when he talked about the LGBTQ community, and he was saying how he talked to the censorship people when he was doing Chappelle's show, and he could say, disclaimer, he could say the word nigger on the show. He could say it as much as possible. He didn't say as much as possible, but he was like, he'd say that word freely, but he couldn't say, disclaimer, the word faggot.
Yeah.
Which I detest that word. I hate that word also. But he was like, the censor people told him he couldn't say that word. And they said it was because...
He's not gay.
Yes, he's not gay. And then he said, I'm not a nigger either. And I was like, that's real. So why
Spoiler
is there...
alert.
Oh.
I just thought of that.
Well,
Like anybody who hasn't watched it.
well, we're here now. So, anyway, it was true though. Like, why does one carry more weight than the other? Or what are you saying by this? Like, what's the meaning behind it?
I'm going to tell you what they saying is nigger and black person is synonymous.
Right.
That's what they telling you. It means the same thing to most people. When they hear it, it's synonymous. So you're basically saying every black person is a nigger, but not every gay person is a faggot.
Disclaimers. Yes. But
That's my shit. I say what I want to say.
not like that.
You know. I was just saying.
So, but when he was talking about like the groups and their power and lobbying, things like that, and then he said, if you think of it again, if you haven't seen it, then skip ahead. But he was talking about the car, the metaphor, and saying that it's being driven by gays, like in the LGBTQ. The movement's led by gays, and he said by primarily white gay men. Primarily by white gay men.
Doogie Howser is driving.
Because there's still a certain amount of privilege. Like, you're still a white man. Even if you're gay, you're still a white man, and that has more privilege than being a white woman who's a lesbian. Because he said lesbians and gays are in the front seat of the car. But still, gay men are driving it. And
but ain't nobody louder than a white... I mean, gay white men might be driving. You got white lesbians on the passenger side because they still hold some power and are louder than anybody else, showing up to the rallies with your pink pussy hats. Yeah.
And then he said, and then they put trans people, even within the community, there's discrimination, which is true. He's like, each group, there's a certain amount of people who just really don't mess with anybody else in the other parts of the groups. You know, they're all lumped together, but they're not. And he's saying trans people get thrown to the back of the car, and nobody really wants to deal with them. Like, people within the LGBT community still put trans people in the back, just like I guess the rest of society seems to do with trans people.
Until somebody outside of the community says something, then you rush to be like, no. But even you don't really rock with them like that. Like, people within he calls them alphabet people. Even people within the alphabet people, you don't really protect them. You don't really support them the way you say you do until someone who is outside of your group says something.
Right.
That's all it is. I mean, the whole thing, to me, like, I saw somebody say this and I completely agree. Dave Chappelle did a great job of holding the mirror up to all of us, to society. Whether I may not agree with every single thing he said, but he does a great job of holding up the mirror and forcing you to look at yourself and question yourself, because we have gotten outrageous. We gotten stupid, right? The things that we, and really selective about the things that we get outraged about. The things, but other stuff is completely okay.
You get very hypocritical.
Absolutely.
Very hypocritical, and I agree with that point.
And so, it didn't. The thing I like about it didn't really spare anybody, right? You could all fall into any one of these groups. So yeah, he talks about the LGBTQIA people. He talks about whatever group you're in. Like even those of you, if you defending R. Kelly or Michael Jackson right now, like come on. Holding up the mirror, truth is they probably did it, right?
I mean, he did go pretty far about Michael Jackson, and he was on the side of
his documentary went pretty far about
clearly
Michael Jackson.
It went pretty far. We hadn't watched it, but he cited some sort of like, I wasn't ready for that. But he was he was saying he didn't think Michael Jackson did it.
I mean, the thing about Michael Jackson is he could be wrong, but Michael Jackson is probably a more sympathetic figure than R. Kelly. Like, at this point, it's easy to turn on R. Kelly. It's popular to say, to turn and reject R. Kelly. But Michael Jackson been dead for 10 years, so it's a little harder to say Michael Jackson probably did that shit.
For me, I'm not hard-pressed to say not to say that he did it or to say he did it. I think he did it. But at this point, he's, like you said, he's dead. So, whereas with R. Kelly, I can say I don't want to listen to his music or stream anything because he's still alive and I don't think he's in jail yet for anything, or he's on trial, whatever.
Who the fuck knows what
the point
R. Kelly
is, he's still able to reap the benefits from listening. He's alive and he's able to get the money and the royalties and from you listening to him. If Michael Jackson dead, who's benefiting from that? His kids. His estate, which may or may not include his kids. I don't know. I don't know how the family divvied up the money. But at any rate, he's not in a position to directly benefit and continue harm.
Michael Jackson and his kids.
Kids.
Listen, one day we should talk about unpopular opinion. Michael Jackson dying early was actually a good thing for him.
Okay.
That's my opinion. If Michael Jackson was still alive right now, he would be on trial. He would be facing time. His legacy would be ruined. Dying 10 years ago actually was a benefit to Michael Jackson.
I mean, his legacy is still
get a little smudge on it, but not like he ain't going out like Bill Cosby.
Oh. No.
He ain't going out like that.
Completely with the disgrace.
Yeah. You ain't going out like that. If Michael Jackson was still alive, he'd be serving time in jail like Bill Cosby.
All right. Moving on?
I don't know. Are we done with Dave Chappelle? Hey, man, great special. Definitely go watch it. If you have not already, watch the special. It's going to be some hard pills to swallow in there. He might step on your toes, but
question:
definitely
is Dave Chappelle the problematic fave? Like, people still rock with him, people still go, and he'll do his shows, and people still come out, and so I'm just wondering, like, is he problematic, but people aren't screaming to cancel him like that? You know what I mean?
I like my comedy non-PC. There's a place for different types of comedy. Not all comedy can be grouped into the same, little box. But there's a time and a place for that type of comedy. You want your comedy to be honest and just upfront and not censored. And he definitely did a great job of that. He's not afraid to take on the audience. Like, yeah, you pay money for these tickets, but I might, say something about you too. So
And he made a point. He said, "You clicked on me on Netflix. Like, you chose the screen to watch this. You chose to view it. So if you hate watching is still a watch. You know, if you're watching to get outraged, it's still a watch. If you don't like the person, don't support it. Don't click on it."
Right. And I mean, but look, there's still an audience out there that just wants that honesty. We're not. Let's stop with all this other stuff, man. It just being. I like my comedy a little reckless. I come from I like Richard Pryor, Red Fox. I like that. Sometimes you need that reckless ass comedy. Just comedians just get up there and say outrageous shit. I like that. So I'm definitely a fan of this Dave Chappelle Sticks and Stones. I may watch it again. It's a lot. It's a lot there. Bless you.
Excuse me.
If anything, at times it almost felt like, instead of a stand-up special, it almost felt like a lecture.
I was gonna say it was a monologue. Like, I didn't see it. Sometimes I was like, this isn't comedy so much as a monologue, a comedic monologue. There you go. All right.
Check it out.
Next up.
All right. So I don't know if I should play music or not.
That's all right.
Detective JC from New York Undercover, aka
Wow.
Malik Yoba.
Yes.
So I just saw this morning, right?
Uh-huh.
Malik Yoba announced, in an Instagram post, he posted a video of this young man being harassed by other young men about his. The young man was just being honest about his attraction and admitting to having interactions with transgendered individuals. So this is me trying to be politically correct, dancing all around the words. But this young man in this video is being harassed by other young men, and he's admitted to having interaction with other transgender, and they're just, saying how they don't approve of it.
He was having sex with transgender women.
Yes. Anyway, so later on, this video has spread around the internet now. Maybe you've seen it, maybe you haven't. But it's a video of this young man. I can't remember his name at the time, but eventually, I guess after this video was taken, this young man actually took his life by overdose. Some additional things happened. It wasn't just because of this.
Right.
What was recorded, there was some interaction. His girlfriend left him, some other stuff, and he took his life by overdose. So Malik Yoba created this post with this video and just admitted that, and he was saying that, we need to teach young men better, that there's nothing wrong with, being attracted to transgender, and he actually identified as trans attracted. That he himself is use these terms now. Sometimes, I don't even know what they all mean sometimes, but to be cis heterosexual male, Malik Yoba is actually trans attracted, that he finds transgendered women attractive.
Yes.
So
yes,
I'm just giving you the background. It brings us to the next topic that we want to talk about.
So the young men in the video in question, all of them were black. That's important.
Black or Hispanic.
Yeah.
It looks like it was in New York somewhere. I was about to say some shit about New York. You barely can't tell. I mean, Dominicans also say nigga, so I don't know. What? Black and brown young men. I mean, you said black, but they could have been Hispanic.
Yeah, but it was just, you were talking about the word nigger, and I was like, where?
I mean, I'm just saying they all. You can't tell, is what I'm saying. Are you African American? Are you Dominican? Are you Puerto Rican? Shit, I don't know, and I don't have time to figure it out.
I was just thrown off. Okay.
Never mind. The people who listen get what I'm saying.
Okay. Anyway, but that was the important part of the story. He was saying specifically,
he was surrounded
men
by
of
other.
color.
Yes, I would say that's a better term.
He was saying specifically men of color. I thought he said at some point black men specifically.
I mean, he may be talking
Directly.
to black men, but I'm not. What I'm saying is, I'm not sure that everyone that was in the video.
But in his write up of this whole thing. So he was saying that people need to educate the next generation, educate themselves about this, and stop, I guess, because this is such a nuanced issue, because he's saying you're forcing people to hide, essentially. If you're going to be that way when someone comes out or says they're attracted to trans women, right?
You're forcing them to hide, is what you're saying?
Well, it's the fear of discrimination. It's the fear of being treated like that. It's the fear of being harassed or assaulted. I mean, but, trans women get murdered all the time. And people don't seem to want to educate themselves about that.
I will say this, and I got a couple statements I want to say about this, and they may be, you may not agree. But one of the statements I want to say is, and this also kind of relates to the Dave Chappelle special. There are still some groups here in the United States of America, whether you want to admit it or not, whose lives are completely disposable. Mm-hmm. Transgender black women are one of those groups.
Yes.
People feel like it is okay to kill them because nobody will care. Black women, cisgender, natural born black women, are maybe a step above. Right? Mm-hmm. Like, if you're a black woman who may be homeless or a sex worker, you may be a step above that. There's still groups in this country who people just feel like completely disposable, who feel like they can play games with your life and like take your life and nobody will even care. Mm-hmm. That's where, just to lay a foundation and let you know, this is the group that we talking about. This is how a lot of, I'm not saying that's how I personally feel, but by actions and words and deeds and killing these people, this is what you're saying. And the fact that these people get killed on a regular basis and nobody says anything, you are telling them that your life don't matter. Right.
So I haven't seen any feedback, anybody really saying anything about Malik Yoba.
I just saw this one post that, was kind of like a headline from one of the entertainment sites. Saying that he made this post. I haven't really seen any reaction from it, which may be a good thing, that everything doesn't necessarily deserve or need a reaction.
Right. So I guess what comes up is he said he identifies as a cisgender and heterosexual male, right? And I think some people were questioning, well, if you're attracted to trans women, then are you still heterosexual?
That's the thing people have to really deal with. Mm-hmm. If you are going to say that these people who are transgender, and you're going to give them the right to say that you're going to call him, if you can say that these people can identify as transgender, you're going to be able to call them she and her and say that is a woman, right? Mm-hmm. But then any man that finds her attractive, you then call him gay.
Right.
It can't be both. Mm-hmm. That's what people have to understand. It can't be both. No, I don't look at him as less than because he said this. That's his own personal preference. That don't take nothing away from him. It don't affect me at all. So I don't feel like less than, but people really have to be honest with their own feelings. I'm telling you, a group that really has to be honest with themselves is women. Women love trans women. You love Laverne Cox. You love the cat. Y'all love Pose. Y'all love that show. But I bet you still do not see that person as equal to you. If you really want to be honest with yourself. You could, like, we talking about men. Yeah, we need to stop. Like, bro, if that's what you like, that's what you like. Don't be out here killing people. But really, it's a lot of people have to be honest with themselves and say you don't really rock with these people the way you say you do.
I think what you were saying is important because you said it's about equality. If you really believe in equality, then where's your hang up with this?
Right.
And to the question of does that make him less of a black man, or do I see him as less of a black man? No. It would be the same if he said he was totally into trans women, or if he was into trans men, or if he was gay. It doesn't matter what his orientation is. He's still a black man.
I mean, he's still a black man.
He's still a black man, and he's still a man. Your sexuality doesn't make you less of a man. But I think that's one thing that we get hung up on in our community, in the black community, and also in the Hispanic community, is what masculinity means. What does it mean to be a man? That if somebody you love or someone you care about comes out as gay, does that make them less manly? Is that what makes them a man? Your sexuality is not what makes you a man.
Here's what you really got to be honest with. Like, I'm talking about me as well. When you really get down to it, if we really being honest with ourselves, the genitalia matters. Here's where, like, man, Malik Yoba has the right to do and say whatever he wants to, be attracted to whoever he wants to. Call me whatever you want. The part that I struggle with is if you have a penis, I'm just say this. It's hard for me to say that's a woman. Listen, as far as technology has come these days, the transitions are getting better. There's some, I'm telling you right now, you can't tell. Bro, listen, you can see them on Instagram. What's her name? Amaya, I think his name. Her name. Mm-hmm. You can physically, you almost cannot tell. Mm-hmm. But call me old fashioned. I like to think I'm pretty progressive, but I'm not to the point where I can find the moment that I know if I know a penis is present, I'm out, dog. That I can't.
I mean, that's your preference.
Yeah. I mean, after the surgery, and the surgeries I don't know for a fact, but I think the surgeries have made progress.
Yeah.
And if you're post-op,
you can't.
And you can't tell. How do I know, right? But then we're still like hung up on, well, can you tell and can you not tell, and what? It's a sensitive subject.
It is. It really is. But I think what he was trying to say, and that's where I said your sexuality doesn't determine your masculinity. It doesn't determine like anything else about you. It doesn't determine what kind of person you are or your personality, your characteristics, the good traits about you. It doesn't determine any of that. It has nothing to do
I completely agree with
any of that.
Yeah.
But we do have to stop the violence or discrimination against people who are, especially because you're talking about younger folks, exploring their sexuality, their sexual identity, figuring things out. Because that's what I was saying. You scare them into hiding.
Absolutely, yeah. This we go on forever about this. One thing I can agree on: nobody deserves to die. If you are someone who may have been born a male and identify as female, you don't deserve to die just because of that. And then the thing is, a lot of the African American transgender women who are dying at the hands of men who find them attractive, but then can't deal with the fact that you find them attractive.
Right.
That's fucked up, bro.
Yeah.
No, I mean,
right.
Look, you ashamed that it's gonna come out or somebody gonna find out? Nobody deserves to die. You are allowed the right to be attracted to whoever you want to. You can be whoever you want to be. I'm at a point in my life where I ain't judging nobody, bro. I'm not. If you like trans women, if you gay, hey man, you cool with me. I'm straight up. Like I ain't like, we may not be the closest of friends, but I got people. I know gay dudes, and they cool with me. You okay with me, bro? Nobody deserves to die. You can't take somebody's life, especially because you can't deal with your own feelings and attractions. Right,
because the question really is, what was it with these young men who were attacking him, the kid in the video? Like,
they were yelling about sucking dick and shit. You don't know these people.
I'm saying, what is it about them that felt like they needed to attack him? That's what I'm saying. Like, why do you feel like you have to attack this person or beat this person or curse or whatever?
The truth is, because we've all been taught that it was wrong. As men, we were taught that shit was wrong. I'm be honest, I know I was. Mm-hmm. That shit's wrong. That's what
you're taught.
Gay, trans, whatever. That shit's wrong. We all have to deal with those things that we were taught. And just because you were taught it as a young kid does not mean it was right. We were taught that shit was wrong. So when you hear somebody, your peer, somebody who you like, I hang with you, nigga, and you doing this, it's wrong. So I not saying what those young men were doing was okay. I understand where it comes from. It's because it has been ingrained in you that it is wrong.
Mm-hmm. And that's where he was saying we need to educate our young men better. We need to do a better job at this. It's not going to change overnight.
It's not. It's a lot of us that have to be honest with ourselves. From a man's point of view, you have to be honest. If you are a man that finds trans women attractive, be honest. It's okay. And listen, I'm telling you that if you see that person as a woman, that does not make you gay the moment that you realize that they may not have been always born that way. And even if it doesn't make you gay, but once you even find out that they weren't born that way, there's nothing wrong with you still finding that person attractive. That's what we have to really be honest with. Straight up, right? If you like it, that's fine. I can say, hey, I think I'm at a point in my life where I can look at a person, a trans woman, and be like, hey, that person looks nice. That person is pretty. Mm-hmm. Listen, if I ever find myself single again, I ain't but one penis in the relationship. That's just me. It's my personal view. That's just me. I ain't but one penis in this bitch. Now, post surgery, I would have to deal with that if I ever came across it. As other people, now that's for the men. Other people, you have to be honest with yourself and say you don't treat these people the way they should either. Listen, women, I'm talking about real, not born cisgender women. Mm-hmm. You like these people to be your besties and go shopping with them and shit, but you don't really like these transgender people as much as you say you do. You don't see them as equals. When you think about it, like, oh man, she ain't never had to pop these ibuprofen 800. She ain't never had to get the heating pad out, and she ain't, you know what I'm saying? She ain't never had a menstrual cycle. So you don't really see that person as an equal when it really come down to it. So that's something else you got to deal with too. If we talking about equality, what's really equal? Mm-hmm. That's my little spiel on it, man. Love who you want to love. Love who you want to love. Except if they are children or animals, then no.
Yes.
Or family members.
Oh.
We'll
Oh,
we'll
all
talk
right.
about that some other time.
I don't. Sure.
No.
Sure.
Or,
yeah.
or not.
not. I
Or
don't
not.
know. Yeah.
Let's
Well,
just all agree that is wrong.
That's not okay.
Not okay.
Things that are not okay. All right.
We're in the box. You're over here. We're here. You're over here. Look,
All
if
right.
you're
We're
there's
gonna
some,
take a break.
there's some things that will never be okay.
We're gonna take a break.
We'll be back. All right, we gotta record that segment.
Gotta save it.
Save that segment, and then
It's
we
not
will be
August.
back.
It is September.
We're going back in for the audio finish up. I mean, anybody who's still watching this, if you're on live, this part isn't being recorded actually on the podcast.
It's not. It's the in between.
Who has listened to this new Jeezy? Anybody listen to this new Jeezy yet? I'm about to talk about this new Jeezy TM 104. Has anybody listened to this new Jeezy yet?
Ready? Are we ready?
Hold on.
We can get the sound effects ready.
I'm just play the instrumental.
Okay.
All right, and we're back. So, a lot to talk about this week. Lot to divide and break down. So remember, if you have anything that you want to add, any feedback, please email us at wherearethewebs1@gmail.com. We would love to hear from you and your opinion on this particular subject. All right, so let's get into this week's review. Do you have any? I got my one.
No, I started listening to Sir, but I didn't get to finish.
Oh.
So I will wait.
So, my review this week is going to be on the Jeezy, a.k.a. Young Jeezy, Jay Jenkins. This is how you know I'm a real fan. TM 104, Thug Motivation 104. We are on 104. We started at 101. We did 102, 103. Now we're on 104.
Just say it.
But this hurts me.
Mm-hmm.
God. Oh.
Just say it. Say it.
It wasn't good. Oh, shit. Hey, man. Let me be honest for a second. Listen, man. Jeezy, I gotta qualify it, preface it. Young Jeezy is one of my favorite rappers of all time, from Trap or Die to TM 101. One of my favorite rappers of all time. Young Jeezy, the Snowman. I make it wintertime. Heard the streets hungry. Well, it's dinner time. Like, one of my favorite rappers of all time. I gotta say, this new album, musically, he dropped a dud, bro. You dropped it was not, like, there's nothing I've tried. Like, you ever listen to something, and I'm hoping I get something. Give me a line, give me a bar, give me something that'll stick with me. Nothing stuck. I listened to it and nothing stuck. Let's be honest, man. I feel like Jeezy is appealing to a group of his fan base that wants that trap rap, that old Jeezy. But let's be honest, man. Jeezy ain't touched no drugs in probably over 10 years. Over 10 years. You ain't touched no dope lately. But people still want you to talk about the dope.
Look, Pusha T does it.
Pusha T still, like, here's the thing about Pusha T. Pusha T still talks about old shit too. Like he still got the Al Bundy syndrome. Still talking about the glory days too. But the thing that lets Pusha T get away with it, the things that let Rick Ross kind of get away with it. Ross is kind of transition. Ross is talking about his business ventures, Wingstop, Checkers. Yeah. Pusha T and Ross have great songs. The music is still good. Mm-hmm. Jeezy, the subject matter sounds old, and the songs aren't that good.
Like the beats?
The music is not that good. He even starts the first song, he quote one of my favorite people, Gary V. Oh. He got Gary Vaynerchuk on the album. I love some Gary V, but even Gary V couldn't save this. Now, what I will say about this album that I like, man, for the first time in like a long time, Jeezy was out promoting the album. He's doing interviews, the rollout, the promotion. He posting on social media. That was great. But then just musically, it just went there. It sounded like somebody who ain't sold dope in a long time. Like, you sound like somebody who ain't sold drugs in a very long time, who still want to talk about selling drugs. I just don't know. Like, and I'm so hesitant to say this. I like Jeezy. I'm a Jeezy fan. This album just wasn't it for me, man. It just was not it. It's hard to see, and he's suffering from this the worst. There's a couple other rappers too. Some of my favorites, like, who are finding it hard to. You're approaching 40, or you may already be 40. And still want to talk about selling drugs. It's just not there anymore. Now, Ross, like I said, has found a way to make that transition a little bit. Jeezy, T.I. is another one that recent albums have struggled to find something to talk about now that you don't have the street thing to talk about. Mm-hmm. It just, oh man, it just went there, bro. Now, let me get some positives. One thing I like about this album, a lot of making shout outs. He getting back to his roots. People, like, a lot of people think Jeezy is from Atlanta. Jeezy's from Hawkinsville, Georgia. Hawkinsville, not even Hawkinsville. If you know anything about Middle Georgia, Jeezy's from Hawkinsville, and there's a lot of making Middle Georgia shout outs. Shout out to, Duncan Block, Duncan Avenue, Pansy Avenue. Shout out to Macon, man. But that's about it. I feel bad for saying that, but this Jeezy TM104, it's not it. And I think, again, he made this album to satisfy some of his fans, but it didn't work. If you go back a couple albums, I think it was Seen It All. That was probably like the last really good Jeezy album. The last couple, I feel like he's been struggling. He's been trying to find something to talk about. I mean, he has to find a way to talk about his business ventures. The way Ross talks about Wingstop, Checkers, you need to talk about Avion and Figures Wireless or whatever you're involved in. Do that. Leave the drug talk alone. Do people even still sell crack? You quoting prices from 10 years ago, Jeezy. 10 years ago, we were trying to figure out where you were getting them from for $17.5. I know you ain't getting them for $17.5 in 2019. I don't know.
All right, motivation.
I'm sorry. Motivation. I don't know. I wrote down just be a better person, but I do want to tell y'all about this Big Mario movement, though. Hey, listen, man. This is just something I can't, like, it really was just born in a moment of probably, like, over a couple of drinks, me trying to get my wife to see herself as the boss that she is. Yes. You will hear me use the term Big Mario, but what it really means is, if you're familiar with the video game, the old school Nintendo NES system that came with the Super Mario Brothers. You know, you started out as Little Mario, and eventually you would hit something. Your goal was to try to get big as soon as possible. You got the mushroom and you got big. You powered up, and then you could get another power up and you get your little fireballs, and you got the other one where you were kind of invisible and you could just run through things. So when you hear me describe myself or call my wife Big Mario, it's a reminder that you already have the power within you. You've already powered up. Stop playing like you Little Mario when you are already Big Mario, right? You are Big Mario. Stop. There are people in your life who are going to continue to treat you like Little Mario. They knew you when you were small. There's a possibility that you know somebody was on another level, a higher level, when you may have started, but you can always pass these people. But sometimes those people who you pass will always see you as Little Mario, Little Anna. You know, I helped you out. You remember I did that thing for you, right? You remember you had to come to me and I had to do this thing, and they're going to hold that over you. Or, you know, I'm older than you. You can pass people. Age doesn't mean anything. You can always be Big Mario. So I encourage all of you. You are Big Mario. You already done powered up. Stop playing small. You know, be Big Mario. Big. Do shit big. We doing it. We big out here. Big Mario. Wherever you go, whatever situation you walk into, you Big Mario. Stop playing like you Little Mario. The video game analogies continue to go on. Listen, hey, just like in Mario, you're gonna take some hits, you're gonna take some L's. You may lose your powers, you may shrink back down to Little Mario, but as soon as you can, you power back up and you get back to Big Mario. You may be out here, you may be Sonic the Hedgehog, you rolling through, and every now and then you get the Sonic rings knocked out your ass. You get back, you keep going. I'm gonna keep going with these video game motivations, but just remember, you are Big Mario.
All right, mental health moment, really quick. Have the courage to be honest. So I have been on this Audible journey. I've been listening to some audiobooks, my 30-day trial of Audible, and I'm listening to The Untethered Soul and The Gifts of Imperfection. So The Untethered Soul is a really big mindfulness type text, and The Gifts of Imperfection is by Brené Brown, and it talks about, they both kind of work hand in hand. But instead of mindfulness, The Gifts of Imperfection is talking about self-acceptance and how to be a better person. So a more honest person and self-expressive and living your life wholeheartedly is the word. So part of that is having the courage to be honest. Like living very honestly. Say the things that need to be said. And be okay with it. Not saying you have to be out here hurting people and going off on people and stuff like that. But being honest about your feelings, being honest about your thoughts. And in order to do that, in order to live authentically, quote fingers, live authentically, it takes a lot of honesty. And honesty is scary. Being that honest and being vulnerable is scary. So it takes courage. So have the courage to be honest and say the things you need to say to the people that need to hear it. For good or for bad, whatever it is. So I'm trying to work on that myself, is living wholeheartedly and living life honestly. So that's my mental health moment. Living honest. Have the courage to be honest. Boom.
Absolutely.
Roses. So there were tennis things going on.
Oh, yeah.
And I saw the video of, and I know I think it's Naomi
Osaka
and Coco Gauff. And they played each other.
Yes.
And at the end, Coco was tearful and falling apart. And Naomi went over and talked to her to comfort her and said, come on, let's do, you don't want to do the press conference. She was like, I'm just going to cry. I don't think I can pull it together. And she was like, that's okay. That's okay. She's like, you could cry in the locker room, in the shower. You could cry out here in front of people. She's like, these people came to see you. There are people who support you. Even though you lost the match, that doesn't, you still have fans. You still have people who love you, who adore you, who back you up. You're here for them. They want to see you. They want to see your face. They want to continue to support. Like, come out for that. And I just love seeing, hey, it's women of color, young women in tennis out here.
I'm glad you brought that up. Like, I really like that scene, that demonstration, to see the two of them together and know, like, both of them are super young. Like, I think Naomi maybe 19, mm-hmm. Coco's 15.
Yeah.
If this is the future of women's tennis, shit, count me a fan. I'm with it. Like, I don't even understand how they keep scoring the sport. I still been trying to figure out how they keep scoring tennis. But I will watch it just for those two. Now, I love Serena just like anybody else, and Serena and Venus had to deal with and overcome a lot.
Yes.
But I don't feel like here's my criticism of Serena Williams. I don't know if she's done a great job of embracing the younger people, like the people who have come after her.
Yeah.
Because she's had she's been up against Naomi. And I think in that match she had some outbursts and stuff, and things like that. And she wasn't as gracious as Naomi was in winning, as Naomi was in this match. But these two, I was very proud to see that. So shout out to Naomi and Coco. I hope y'all dominate women's tennis for the next 10, 15 years. I will watch. Matter of fact, if y'all ever, I never wanted to pay to see a tennis match ever in my life. But if you gave me a chance to go watch Naomi Osaka or Coco Gauff, I'd spend my money on that shit.
There's another young woman. I can't think of her name. There's a third
there was another one. What's her name? But she had her moment, and she hasn't been doing that well lately. What's her name?
I wanted to say Sloane, but I don't know.
Sloane Stephens.
Okay.
Sloane Stephens, yeah. At least,
but look,
I'm glad we dominating women's tennis still. Also, gymnastics too. Women's gymnastics.
Simone Biles.
Caitlin Osaka. Mm-hmm. I think that's the other young lady who she's pretty popular in women's gymnastics. The thing I like about her, I mean, she's I don't know her ethnicity, but she's also typically not like your typical.
Is she the one I saw? I came in the living room, I was like, yo!
Who's this thick ass Asian?
Yeah, I was like, this thick girl's look at the gymnastics. Big girls do gymnastics. I mean, she's not big, but
for a gymnast,
she's not like what you would consider your stereotypical gymnast. And they were talking about it while she was on the floor exercise, and they were saying how she's fighting body image issues. Like she's changing the face and the size of the sport, because at some point it's like, this shouldn't be a conversation. This should not be a discussion about. We're sitting here like, oh my gosh, look at her. She's so big and brave for getting out there and flipping her body around. She was incredible.
She can do it.
Because she did that split with the pop-up. I died. I mean.
She owned it.
It's going to be something to see Olympics next year. So, those are my roses. Those were my roses to those young women. That's pretty much it. Yeah.
Cool.
Woo.
All right. Hey, man, don't forget, follow us on all social media. Email us. This week, we got some great topics here. I'm expecting some emails this week.
I'm expecting emails, texts, all of that.
Emails, texts, whatever. We need some feedback this week. What do you think? Dave Chappelle, what do you think? Malik Yoba,
Right.
what do you think? Let us know.
Also, make sure you're following us on our social medias. The Webbs will be at One Music Fest this coming weekend. We'll be in Atlanta. So, last big festival of the year.
Kind of like end of the summer. We going out with a bang at One Music Fest.
So, and if you are interested in dog sitting for us, please let us know.
Yeah.
Please let us know if you would come to the house checking out a little Lucky.
You don't have to even stay. Just come drop him some food off every.
He'll be happy.
Yeah.
That's it. We got outro. Music.
Let me play the. We're gonna claim this as a new theme song. Hopefully, we don't get sued.
Also, if you want to make make a donation to the Where the Webbs Fund, we need to get a Cash App or something.
Hey,
the Webbs need a tablet because I broke the tablet screen.
Yeah. Shout out to all the supporters, the Patreons.
Right. Shout out to everyone who support the podcast.
We appreciate you. All right. Anything else?
That's it.
All right. Let's go. We out.
Bye, guys.
I don't know if anybody's still on that.